What's up guys, Peepo again, and today's video is actually going to be another review. Yeah, it's been a little bit since I've done a review, but hey, who's really counting? I guess I'm probably counting. Some people are counting too. But so today's video is going to be about this, the Maverik Centrik. This is the high school version, courtesy of working at Lacrosse Unlimited. And this head is supposed to be something of an ideal head for your midfielder. The optic, which is here, the optic was more centered towards your attackman or your offensive-minded midi, but more so towards your attackman. If you pay attention to the Maverik pros and whatnot who are using it, they're more your attackman style players. And then you have your Maverik tank, which only comes in a U, which is strictly defender or LSM. Now the thing about all these heads is this. There is a nice little system as to where you can kind of figure out which head you're looking at if you're not entirely familiar with what heads are out there. If it's a Maverik head and it has 2 struts, it's offense. If it has 3 struts, it's midfield. And if it has 4 struts, it's defense. So just a kind of a quick little thing as well as comparison between the heads. Now, since the optic had a level 2 bottom rail where the curvature of the rail was down here near closer to the throat, it was more focused towards your attackman so that you could have that mid-low pocket so you could do the one-handed cradling, dodging and everything, because you don't need the pocket to sit up high when you're dodging and everything like that. You want it to sit nice and low, more control, closer to your hands. Now, if you compare it to your Centrik, it has a level 3 bottom rail right here, right in the middle, nice in the middle. And so this head can be pretty much focused towards anybody. It can have a person with a high pocket, mid pocket, low pocket, but more often than not, the ball is going to naturally want to sit right here in the middle. But with that said, since it can sit right in the middle or it can go high or low, the sidewall holes are no different than your optic or your tank. They're the same amount of holes, pretty much the same exact positioning of the holes, so that you can get almost the same exact pocket if you don't want to use an optic anymore and you switch over to a Centrik. So it's not overly difficult to convert or transfer pockets. But so with that said, the stringing was extremely easy. Your top holes were well spaced. There's just enough plastic to where it's not going to snap. Your top sidewall holes, I still wish they would kind of make at least the top 2 here, or even the top 3, actually a little bit bigger, maybe a little longer, but the same shape. A little bit longer, I would say, with these 2, and maybe the 3rd. And other than that, it was extremely easy to string. I have my personal Centrik U right here. I prefer U spec heads or X spec heads, college legal heads. But so, as you can see, kind of went a little crazy with the shooters. But hey, what can you do when you're allowed to use this type of shooters in men's league? But so, I ended up doing a 10 diamond top. I did mess around with quite a few of 9 diamond patterns that people kept trying to throw out there, but more or less what I did is I took my patterns that I've been doing on my optics for people and myself, and I just put it into the Centrik, and it worked out a lot better for me because the pockets that I put in the optic were a little more focused towards a mid-high traversing pockets for shooters. But so almost literally the same exact head as the optic. There's a little bit of a difference when it comes to the throat. As you can see, the optic is a solid throat at the bottom. The Centrik's a little bit more hollowed out, so that pretty much there's a little bit of weight cut away from it. In the back as well, as it's a little cut out right here. But other than that, the only major difference is your struts on the side. Now, getting into the struts, though, I do have, I guess you could say it's a little bit of a complaint as far as the Centrik goes, and It kind of is more so in the U than it is in the high school, and it's in all the U's that I've noticed. This little, you can actually see it right here, there's a little bit of a V kind of going back that direction in the sidewall. I feel that because of that slight cutaway, and the high school almost looks like it wanted to do that, but with the U, I feel that that part is going to snap. Like, it may be on the inside, like closer to this side of the sidewall, but I feel that that's going to snap. And then same thing with these upper strut the third upper strut. I feel that that could snap because it's just, there isn't a lot to it. I mean, yeah, the whole hollowed out idea could probably give it a little bit more strength and durability, but I don't feel that it'll last too long. That's really my only qualm, I guess you could say, about the structure of the head. Otherwise, very stiff. It's not as stiff as a tank. It's a little bit, it's kind of like in between your, I guess you could say it's a little bit in between the optic and the tank, where I have always felt that the optic is a little flexible because of the lack of struts. But if you actually were to compare this to an optic U, there is actually a slightly longer pinch. If you can't really compare it with the high schools, because the high school ones are pretty much exactly the same in pinch dimension, but with the U version, the Centrik U right about here is a little bit longer in its pinch in comparison to the optic U. So definitely a very minute difference that focuses more towards the person like a midfielder that wants a little bit of a tighter head than, say, an attackman who wants to be able to catch whatever's coming at him and be able to put it in the goal. So those are some of the main differences that I've noticed. But otherwise, same great head as the optic that everybody's really enjoying with the optic. Pretty much the same exact scoop, same sidewall holes, almost same bottom area, although I do wish that Maverik would do the two screw hole idea, just because I've had a couple optics that have come in and have been rattling, although your Maverik heads are probably some of the tighter ones to go on shafts. But that's one big difference that I kind of wish that Maverik would do. But otherwise, I think the Centrik is a great addition to the lineup of Maverik heads, considering that only in recent years has Maverik really been stepping up their game and having really good gear, really good gloves, pads, heads. And since they've teamed up with Bauer/Cascade, I feel that they're turning into a little bit of a powerhouse, but we'll see how the years go. But so, if you guys are interested in a new head that's more of a midfielder minded person, or even if you just want something a little different, you don't really like the optic because of the mid-low option, go with the Centrik. It is a great all-around head. Although, and some people are probably going to ask me, how is it on face-offs? Don't get it for face-offs. Don't get optic, don't get tank, don't get Centrik for face-offs. Because of how they're built near the bottom, they're going to snap on you. So don't do it. I've seen some people like, oh, I faced off once with it and it snapped. Well, it's not a face-off head. It's not even remotely close to being designed for face-offs. So please don't use them for face-offs. But otherwise, oh, and you could probably use it for LSM if you really wanted to. So kudos to Maverik for making a pretty good head. So hopefully you guys got a little bit of information out of this. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I know it's been a little bit since I've done a review, and hopefully I can get out a couple more as the days go by and have some actually interesting stuff in store. I can't really get into it until I have it all confirmed, but I got some pretty sweet stuff coming. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you later.